Hello and welcome to the Manifest to Live Life Golden Show. This is episode 95. We are going to simplify manifesting for you today. So if you've been in a situation where you're feeling like what you want is not coming true and it's been years and there's a lot of time has gone by and you can't figure out why you can't manifest, this show is going to uncover a lot for you. It's going to help you to understand the foundations of law of attraction, but some of the things that that maybe you have been taught that are actually messing up your manifestation game. So I feel like I feel like this has been really overcomplicated. I feel like we tend to have way too much logic about things, and I am I'm not going to say I'm guilty of that, but what I am going to say is logic oftentimes is a go-to for me to help us to, understand things. We go to the sciences, we go to more knowledge. And I think what ends up happening is we get so much information that it actually stagnates our manifestation process because we're trying to figure it out. And anytime you're trying to figure things out or you're trying really hard, you're actually slowing the energy down to the manifestation because it's way, way, way more simpler than that. So I'm hoping to, in this show, my intention is to shed the light on the manifestation process. And the number one, I'll say number two, the number two reasons, there's two reasons why your manifestation has not happened yet. And I'm going to shed some light on that towards the end of the show. So stick with me because this is an important conversation. This is a conversation that could actually shift the whole thing for you when you uncover what's been going on underneath and you start to recognize where you are in this process, whether you feel like you've done a lot of work and you've done a lot of focus towards your manifestation and it hasn't come true, or it's something new. It's a new desire that maybe feels really big and feels probably maybe unattainable. And so that's a clue of why things are not manifesting for you. Okay. So there is, let's see. I believe we need to really dumb this down and redefine our relationship with manifestation. So, if you understand that everything you send out is coming back to you, right? That's the law of attraction. Like attracts like. So, everything we send out is what we get back. That's like 101 of manifesting, right? That's the definition of the law. The universal law of attraction is like attracts like. So what I send out, I get back. So when I'm happy, I meet happy people. When I'm frustrated, I meet frustrated people, right? That's real simple, real simple. Now, I think redefining our relationship and how the law of attraction works is where we need to start. So, I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions and maybe even take this into your journaling practice because this is going to help you to uncover some of the deep stuff that you have going on about the manifestation process and about your relationship with manifesting. All right, so here's the questions. I want you to ask yourself, first of all, what is your relationship with manifesting? So this is based most likely on the past. What has your past experiences been with manifesting? Do you have like a lot of great stories? Do you have a lot of evidence? Like I personally have a lot of evidence, and that's why I have a great relationship with manifesting. And I understand this stuff at a really strong level because I have a lot of evidence. If you don't have a lot of evidence, it means that you don't have a relationship with manifesting, which means you don't have a strong desire that creates the breakdown of physical matter in this world to give you evidence. Now, one reason is it may be because your manifestations and what you want are really big, or in your mind, they're really big. There's a saying is it's as easy to manifest a castle as it is a button because it's the beliefs, and I don't really believe that because it's the belief system that really conducts. So the fact that you believe you can manifest a button makes it easy, and the fact that you don't believe that you can manifest a castle is what makes it hard. But if you did have the same belief as the button as the castle, if you really took that information from me and you said one is just as easy as another, then you would actually manifest the castle as well. It's kind of amazing. I've never manifested a castle, but I have stayed in a castle, and it's kind of cool. I don't think I really have a desire for a castle. Sorry, coughing a little bit. So, in that understanding, if you've had a lot of things going on that are small, like you manifest parking spaces, or you manifest a certain amount of money at times, or you manifest great friendships when you're looking for new relationships, or if you've got things like in your back pocket that are in your past that you've manifested, your confidence in manifesting may be pretty good. And that means your relationship with manifesting is good. And that means your signal with manifesting is good. So if your signal is good, and the signal has to do with the relationship, so it's how I feel about manifesting, it's how I feel about my ability to manifest. All right. So, what is your signal? Are you excited about manifesting? Are you frustrated? Do you feel like it's confusing? Does it frustrate you? Do you feel like it's random? Like you have these random manifestations and you're just like, I don't even know why I manifested that. Do you feel it works really well at certain times in your life, and then other times in your life it does not? Like, these are the thoughts and the beliefs that we have to get in tuned with, in touch with, in order to find out where the disconnect is. So where in that space between your manifestation and what you want to happen, what's going on in this space? Are we excited? Are we like super pumped? Are we believing? Do we have faith? Do we trust? Where are we at? And this can change. This space can change. There can be days when you wake up and you're like ready to go get it. And there's days that you wake up and you're just like, why isn't it here yet? So that process is going to change. You're going to speed it up. You're going to slow it down. But if you're aware of this, you can get way better at speeding up the process towards your manifestations and towards actually realizing your dreams. All right. So look at your relationship with manifesting, what it's been in the past, what you presently feel about it. So what you presently feel about it is the signal that you're giving to it. And where are you at with the future? Do you see that manifestation 5 years down the road? When you picture yourself in that manifestation, is it way down the road? Like, is it after the kids graduate high school? Are you holding yourself from it because you don't believe that you can have it right now? That's really, really important. Are you holding yourself from it because you don't believe you can have it right now? Super important. Are you waiting? There was a question in my my Facebook group, the Manifest to Live Life Golden Facebook group, and it was like, pretty much like, I've been waiting and waiting for years, and this manifestation hasn't happened yet. So like, when is it going to come? So think about this. Waiting, the energy of waiting is very heavy. It's very dense, and it slows the energy down. The other thing it does is it doesn't activate energy. So when we're waiting, think about when you're waiting, when you're waiting in line, when you're waiting at the doctor's office, there's a feeling of impatience, right? There's a feeling of frustration. So think about the feelings that you wrap around waiting, and then think about the waiting signal that you're sending to your manifestation. I did this for a long time, you guys. I did it for 4 years before I moved to California. And I did some crazy stuff to try to activate energy. I threw out all my winter clothes one year. I told everyone, not my family, but I told everyone around me in my daily life that I was moving to California, like all the people that worked at the grocery store, pretty much anyone that I would come in contact with that wouldn't be, like a family member, because we waited a really long time before we told our family and friends, because we wanted to make sure that we were sure. We never wanted to be those people that said we were going to do something and then didn't do it. And that has to do with our personality and our integrity to our word. So think about that. Do you have integrity to your word? Do you do what you say you're going to do? Because that's a signal, right? That sends a signal to yourself, that sends a signal to the energy around you, and that sends a signal to other people. So if you're consistently telling people that you're going to do things and you don't ever do them, guess what the energy those people are sending to you? guess what that energy that you're going to send back to yourself? It basically says, I never do what I say I'm going to do. And that is, that's a big signal. That's a giant signal. So we got to stop doing that. We got to stop sending the signal, and we got to start doing the things we say we want to be. And I'll give you some more tips on that in a minute. All right. All right, so let's see. Do you feel like law of attraction works really well for other people? Like for some people, like you look at other people and you think, "Oh, they're so lucky and everything always works out for them." I think I think there's people that think that about me. The only reason why, like one couple of reasons why people manifest maybe beyond what you're doing. One is they've got a really healthy, strong, positive attitude. And I'm not going to say a positive attitude is something that you're born with, but I will say this. There's tendencies. So there's people, and I've got a couple of kids, different children that have came into the world in a different way. They look at the world in different ways. And I myself have been a person who in the past, and this is a tendency for me, so I'm super aware of it. And the only reason why I've been able to change it is because I'm mindful. I still may have tendencies to do this, but it doesn't drive me. It's not what drives me. So some of us, I'm going to put myself included in this, have a little bit more challenge to focus, just a challenge to focus, because we tend to look at the things that are wrong. We tend to be a little bit complainy. We tend to just want to, work on our problems all the time. If you're like that and you weren't born into the world as a little Pollyanna, which I was not, but I have been accused of that now. So I'm proof that we can change this, that you can change this for yourself. And all it really takes is focus. A major focus and a determination to steer away from the tendency to look at the world's problems or your own problems and to focus on what's not right. It's all focus, baby. It's all focus. So if you have been that person for a long time, I think that I have shifted this probably in the last 10 years. I've been working really hard on this, really, really hard on it in the last few years to change those tendencies of complaining. And I'm very fortunate to have a husband and children that remind me of when I'm doing that, when I'm focused on what I don't want. So if you have people around you doing that, don't get mad at them. Feel glad that you have people that are there to help you focus, but notice what you're focused on. If you're always focused on things not working out, or if you're focused on, oh my God, I need to have a plan B because this plan A isn't going to work out, then you are tending to focus on things not going well for yourself. So let's see. So there are people that have tendencies coming into the world that they're just happier. They have an easier disposition about them. They're, and I don't know if this is sign based, like if it's because you're a Scorpio or because you're a Leo or because you're a Virgo, I don't know. But anything even to do with our signs, you can overcome. Like have been known to be a typical Virgo where I need things in their place and I get a little crazy when the house is a mess and stuff like that. Well, I've worked really hard on that and I've been able to really let things go where I don't make things suck for my family anymore. And that's really important, especially when we all get together and we're all in the same house and everybody's got suitcases and there's stuff everywhere. It's really good that I'm not that typical sign of a Virgo flipping out every time that something's a mess. So look at your belief systems about yourself. If you're taking on, okay, this is my sign, so I have to behave this way and I can't change, you're limiting your potential. Because I do believe we have tendencies under our sign, but I also believe that we have focus that can challenge those tendencies. We are mindful, we're aware, we're present, we can release stuff, and we can become someone new. So we don't have to be that typical Virgo, Scorpio, Aquarius, whatever you are. So when it comes to manifesting, if you do have a tendency to be a negative person, to look at the negative side of life and to always look for the things that are wrong, you have to start shifting that because you're sending the signal of negativity to your life, and that's what's creating. Oh, so good. Okay. So let me just see. Yeah, if you have a tendency to be a pessimist or a complainer, it's just going to take you a little more focus. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you, and it doesn't mean that you can't manifest positively. It just means you have momentum going in an opposite direction, and it's time to start cleaning that up. And the way that you do that is through mindfulness. It's through being present every day to what am I thinking about? What am I focused on? What am I saying? Am I saying I don't want this to happen, or am I focused on what I want to happen? So it's a moment to moment thing that you will get better and better at, I promise. But you got to get a handle on it first. You got to have that meditation practice to quiet your mind, to create the space. And then you have to be super aware of what thoughts you're entertaining and what thoughts you are allowing your attention to be on moment by moment by moment. Now, this doesn't mean that you're some crazy Nazi with your thoughts. It doesn't mean that. It's not that insane. It's not that crazy. It just means that you have an awareness around your emotional field and what's driving it. And that's what's really important. If you catch a thought, in the first minute and it's not a thought that's good, you got to redirect. You got to reach higher. You got to go towards gratitude. It was funny today. I went to the gym this morning, and they kind of have a monthly thing for us. So last month was strength. So the workouts were really intense. And this month we're focusing on endurance. So I noticed I did a 10-minute run, and then we did a 5-minute run, and we were sprinting releasing, sprinting, kind of doing it back and forth kind of a thing. And after my workout, I just noticed how good I felt. And I noticed that my thoughts were in a really high frequency. I was just feeling really grateful today, like super grateful, like so grateful that I can bring this information to you. So grateful. And it's super cloudy out. I did see a rainbow on the way home, which I am going to say was part of my gratitude. I was in the frequency of rainbows. I was looking for it too, because it was cloudy on one side and sunny on the other side. So I saw this beautiful rainbow on my way home, which just bolstered my feelings even more, right? Manifestation, indication of how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like a rainbow right now. I'm feeling like life is good. I'm feeling good. So that serotonin level that was driven this morning, I'm really aware of. I'm still aware of it right now. The gratitude I've been feeling. And then I came home and I did a really deep meditation. Like, I don't even know how long I was in there for. I did a guided meditation, and then I was so in the bliss of just being in my higher mind and just connecting with that energy of I am, that I stayed in meditation for longer. So, I'm in a good spot right now. I'm feeling really good. Now, yesterday I didn't do any kind of exercise, and yesterday I was in a battle with my thoughts. I had to continue to release them and let them go. And I'm going to give you some tips on that, because I didn't go into a rabbit hole yesterday. And if you follow me on Facebook, you would see that my husband was a little rascal yesterday and kept making me laugh. And that laughter is a frequency. So I never went low, which sometimes on a Sunday, especially a rainy Sunday, the weather is a big factor for me, and I've noticed it and I'm aware of it and I'm working with it. But when it's super cloudy and we've had a lot of rain and it's been chilly, I am not a fan of being cold. You will catch me under blankets and cats when it's cold out, and it's 50 degrees. It's not that cold, but for this now Californian, that is chilly. So I have to work with that, and I've got to be aware of that the clouds don't have power over me, but I've got to reach a little higher when I'm in situations where it's cloudy, or I've got to go run, right? I got to go run. I got to go get some serotonin moving in my body to counteract what's going on with the weather and outside. All right, so we have to work on our relationship with the law of attraction. What is your relationship with the law of attraction? How do you feel about manifesting? How do you feel about your own ability to be a powerful creator? You've got to ask these questions. And if you're in here's a really great tip: Mindful Manifestation Daily Secrets Guide and Journal. Also, Mindful Manifestation Secrets is also a really good guide for helping you to understand the laws of attraction even more. These are both available on Amazon, but this is a journal, and this is going to ask you the right questions about the signals you're sending to every area of your life. And if you're not sending the signal that is connecting with the manifestation, that's why. That's the whole freaking reason why. It's not because you're not ready. It's not because you're not in alignment. It's because you have a belief that goes against it. You have a belief that's blocking the manifestation and not allowing it to become so. So here are some of the, ripping my page. Sorry about that. All right, so let's start with how we feel and what we believe about ourselves. So I want you to really, look at, how do I really feel about myself? Do I feel worthy? Do I feel good enough? Do I feel ready? I have a couple people in my life that actually are looking for new relationships, but they keep saying they've got to start exercising and losing weight first before they are going to manifest the love of their life. Because they're doing that, they're blocking the love of their life. And the other thing they're not doing is getting ready. They're not doing what they think it needs to take for them to manifest that relationship. So now, I'm not saying you have to be skinny to be in a relationship. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, if you believe that you need to feel good about your body and feel good in your body to manifest that loving relationship, there's the disconnect. There's the belief that's blocking the relationship. So you have two choices. You can either let that belief go, which might be a little challenging to let go, especially if you have a belief about the opposite sex only liking skinny people. If you have a belief about the opposite sex, or if you don't, feel like you're attractive right now, right? Attractive. If you don't feel like you can attract people, that's an issue. So you can change that. You can start eating healthy. You can start working out. You can start moving your body. You can start feeling better about yourself. You can start meditating and connecting with that self-love, that pure essence of love that you are. There's things that you can do. Letting go of not feeling attractive, that one's a little harder because you have a belief right now about the body you're in. You have a belief about what you look like right now that's going to block that manifestation. So that one it's going to take a little more work. So I would suggest moving your ass. I would suggest getting up, getting healthy, feeling good about yourself, because too, that serotonin is going to give you those higher feelings that are going to put you in more of a vibration that is going to help you to manifest a lot of different things in your life, not just a relationship. All right. So, what is this one? Are you deserving? Have you prepared yourself for all that you say you want to be? And what signal are you sending to it? So do you feel ready? The feeling of ready, you don't have to feel ready. Like, I think when we decided we were going to move to California, we did not feel ready for that. What we did feel was sick and tired. So that's kind of like feeling ready, right? When you feel sick and tired of doing what you've been doing and you feel like, oh my God, this is a definition of insanity. We keep doing the same thing. We keep living here winter after winter, and we're freaking sick of it. And it helped that it was February and it was one of the worst winters of snowstorm after snowstorm. So what did that all do, right? That's contrast, that's challenge, that actually fueled our desire to the point where, even though we maybe didn't feel ready, we felt sick and tired enough that we got out of our comfort zones and did some crazy shit, like booked plane tickets and decided when we were going to go. We put a date on it. That is super powerful stuff. Now, through that process of doing that and manifesting everything that we did along the way, there was fear. So you have to have a strong enough conviction to override those fears and not let the fears talk you out of it, right? We had a lot of pressure. There was definitely a lot of pressure because our house was in foreclosure. Now, it had been for 5 years, and we probably could have stayed there a lot longer, but there were indications that were kind of pushing us, like a court date, which actually manifested into nothing. But those things created pressure in us, and I'm happy about that, that actually helped us to go forward. If you don't have that pressure, you're going to have to create that pressure within yourself. You're going to have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired and do something different if you don't have anything like pushing you. But I guess we were lucky. I don't know. Lucky to be getting kicked out of our house. I don't know. I mean, a lot of great things came from that. A lot of great things happened. And, 7 years later, I look at that and I go, man, that was something that we lived through that now no longer has a detrimental factor on us. It just has given us a lot of faith, and it showed us that things are always working out for us and that we're always going to be taken care of. And there's, not a lot of fear in that department anymore because we've lived through so much crap. So that's the great thing about your contrast. And anything that happens to you along the way during your manifestation is part of growing that faith, of making you stronger, of creating more confidence. So there really is nothing that you can't manifest along the way, but you may not have it all figured out right now. And that's okay. You just got to take some steps forward. You may need to take some leaps even. All right. So here is another thing that may be tripping up your manifestation game. And that is, oh man, I got to watch my time here. I'm trying to keep these shorter. That is this. I'm going to finish this conversation no matter how long it goes because it's really important. And these may be new ideas for you, because to me, I've just had these things downloaded to me recently and they feel brand new. They feel different. They just feel different. Okay. So there's another reason how you might be tripping up your game. If you're not doing anything to activate it, you're the same person every day, waking up, feeling a little miserable, feeling like, why can't this happen? Where is my stuff? If you're in that vibration, you have a ton of beliefs on top of that are telling you you can't have it. Well, it hasn't happened in years. I could have said that 4 years I've been wanting to move west to the West Coast. It hasn't happened. It's never going to happen because it's been 4 years. No, that wasn't the belief. The thing about it was like, what do we need to do? What do you need to do to live your dreams? Do whatever it takes. That's my new mantra. Whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. Put yourself out there. Book the plane tickets. Make a decision. Set an intention for how much money you need. That's what we did. And we had never saved money in our lives. Never. Like we had always, we had money, but as far as like having money saved, there was a lot of money coming in and a lot of money going out. But to actually capture some of it was pretty amazing because we set a really strong intention for how much money we wanted to have before we left, and we were able to do it. We ended up with 20,000. We had set a goal of 30,000, which would have been better, but we left with 20,000 and that got us through. It wasn't always pretty. There were moments of fear, but we got through it and we're on the other side of it now and it feels really good. So pay attention to that. Like, what is the intention that you need to set? And then how are you going to go about it? We did crazy things. We sold everything we owned. I put on law of attraction seminars. My husband got amazing jobs and priced them really well and had great clients. So what is it that you need to do to actually activate that abundance coming in for you? Okay, so work on your belief systems moment by moment, day by day. Do anything you can to act as if. So I would listen to the ocean waves. That was my meditation. I did the Bob Proctor abundance meditation. You can hear the waves in the background. I did that every single day. I visualized living in California. I saw it. I felt it when I was laying in the sun. So this was in the summer before we actually visited California, laying in the sun in my lounge chair and imagining that I was already in California, like just putting myself there as much as I possibly could and feeling it. And I had a question the other day that said, someone asked me, how do you visualize if you don't actually know what it feels like? And it's just allowing your imagination to consider it. That's all it is. You don't actually like need to drum up some sort of feelings, but putting yourself in that energy field of, feeling. There were times I felt like I was outside of my house and it's the house I live in right now. It's just bizarre. The sun, the palm trees, all of that stuff. I got into those feeling places so much that it made sense for us to go when we went. So, how can you act as if? What can you do to promote more of that? If you're looking to get in a relationship and you've got some issues with your body, what can you do about that? You can start to love yourself a little more, and part of loving yourself more is moving your body. It's eating well. It's having integrity for who you are, and it's really valuing the person and your health. I mean, if you're taking your health for granted, you're not doing the best you can, and you're not going to be in the highest frequencies that you can be in. And don't you want to meet somebody that matches your greatest potential? You don't want to meet someone, let's say you're overweight. You don't want to meet someone else that's not healthy, that's overweight, right? So, and it's not to say that this is about looks. This isn't about looks. This is about vibration and how we're living our lives. Are we living our lives well? My husband and I right now are super committed to just being as fit as we can so that we can enjoy the rest of our lives, so that we're not on medications and suffering and trying to deal with issues because we didn't pay attention to our health, because we drank too much alcohol, because we didn't move our bodies. We don't want any of that. We want to thrive. We want to take this next chapter of our life and completely thrive. I mean, listen, the first, we're going on 37, we're celebrating 30 years of marriage in a couple of weeks. And the first half of our life together, we've had children, like we were in a relationship for 7 years and then we had babies. And so, for 30 years, we have been raising little beings. So the next half of our life, we want to be in the best shape possible. We want to have the greatest energy. We want to be able to bring the most to the table. And I want that for you too. So if that's the case and you're looking for a relationship, or you're just looking for health in general, look at the beliefs that may be blocking that. Oh, I'm a procrastinator. Oh, I'm lazy. Oh, I don't want to. All that shit is the mind. It's the mind talking you out of stuff. So just get moving in any way you can. Even just walking in nature is so good for you, because it's going to help you to move forward. It's going to help you to unlock all that serotonin in your body. Plus, being in nature is absolutely wonderful for you too, because it restores your well-being. All right. So your responses indicate your beliefs. So how you are responding to life indicates how you really believe. So you can sit there and you can go, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant. And then an unexpected bill comes and you flip out, or you complain, or you feel constrictive. All those things are not, there's beliefs blocking your abundance in that. So look at that and look at how you feel about the money that's coming in and out, because money's an energy and it's supposed to flow. So if you let it flow and you don't have a bunch of story around it, right? Negative stories around it. Oh, there's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. If you let that go, that's your response. And you say, I always have plenty. That was my mantra for so long. I always have plenty. I still say it sometimes. I always have plenty, so that we don't get ourselves in these constrictions and, something that we grew up with, which is like that generational depression energy of not having enough. So we want to get away from that to start attracting abundance. I am abundant. I live in an abundant universe. Everything is always coming to me. Everything is always working out for me. So look at that. If you're not believing that love is for you, like if you see couples and you get really jealous and miserable, then you got a belief system that's blocking that love. If you look at couples and you get really excited because you're like, holy crap, they are evidence in my field that love is possible, then you're on the right track. You got the right belief systems to actually attract the love. So find out what those belief systems are and get into your best feeling, the best feeling body you can be in, the best feeling potential you can be in, because higher frequencies will always manifest faster. The higher frequencies of gratitude, love, appreciation always manifest faster, because they're in the higher frequencies where those higher frequencies can be delivered to you. The higher frequencies is always faster moving energy. All right, let me see where we are because my page fell. All right. Okay, so yeah, we're going to wrap up. Your response indicates your beliefs. I already said that. Yeah, cool. All right, so I'm going to wrap up here. So simple, you guys. Like, we got to dumb this baby down. Think about what's the signal I'm sending to manifesting? What's my belief about how I manifest? What's my belief about myself? And what's my belief about the thing I'm looking to manifest? Do I feel like I have to wait? Do I feel like things have to happen first? Do I feel like my kids need to grow up, or do I feel like my the elderly parent I'm needing to take care of, like, if I don't have to do that anymore? I would say, if you are in a position of taking care of an elderly parent and you feel like that's blocking your manifestational ability, I would start asking the question of how that could be solved. How can this happen right now, instead of this can't happen right now? Do you see the difference? The signal you're sending is everything. So look at the signals that you're sending to your manifestational abilities, your powers to do it. Start working on things that are smaller, start manifesting parking spaces. Look at your beliefs about that. Do you always believe that there's never going to be any parking and there isn't? That's why, because that's the signal that you're sending. Look at, working on just the smaller things to start to build the confidence if you're new to this. I would say in the beginning of your law of attraction journey, if you're new to this, that's the ripest time for manifesting. Like, that's the time that we manifested the most, was in the beginning, because our desire was very strong. Remember, we were going through a lot of financial struggle. So our desire was super strong. And then because we were new to it, we didn't have any resistance around it. If you've been at this for a while, you might have some resistance because things haven't exactly worked out for you, because you didn't know this. You didn't know what this show is bringing to you, which is anytime you can't manifest something, it's because there's a belief blocking it. You're sending a signal that's not supercharged. Yeah. You want your signals to be supercharged. You want to have faith. You want to believe. You want to feel passionate. You want to feel excited. And if it's been a long time and it's hard to get to those feelings, you've got to start letting go of the responses. You got to let go of the misery. That's the other piece of this. It's the mental piece of changing your life is massive. It's absolutely massive, because the greatest thing you can do is let go. It's let go. Let go of the old identities, let go of the old stories, let go of the past, let go of who you've been before, and let go of all the detrimental beliefs you have about yourself, which says, I'm not good enough. I have these problems with myself. I'm not healthy. Whatever it is that blocks you from really manifesting what you want, that needs to go. Those thoughts and those beliefs. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. So you've got to change it. You got to put new mantras in there. So I shared recently that my new mantra is whatever it takes. So I got doubts that come up, and I'm trying to figure this thing out, and I'm trying to become more successful, and I'm trying to get more people, and trying, and it's exhausting. So instead, I just say I'm doing whatever it takes. And that really helps me. That actually helps me in the middle of these crazy runs that I'm doing right now. When I question it in the middle of the run and I start to go down that, like, oh, I'm tired, I don't know if I can do this. Instead, I go, I'm doing whatever it takes. And it laser focuses me into doing whatever it takes. My body hears that, and my body goes, oh, she's not giving up. We got to give her more. We got to give her more power. We got to give her more energy. So if you want to really manifest, start grabbing that mantra. I'm doing whatever it takes. A bill comes in the mail, an unexpected bill. You look at that bill and you go, I'm doing whatever it takes to become abundant, which means I'm setting my sights higher. I'm setting myself in the vibration of manifestation, so my manifestations have no choice but to manifest. And that is so powerful and so incredibly, I just love it. Like, I'm so in love with knowing this stuff and knowing that in every moment I can create an awareness around a belief that's not serving me, and I can begin to let it go. It's not always perfect, but if I continue to work on it, I know I get closer and closer, and then I see manifestations happen. And sometimes a manifestation isn't a full fruition of a physical thing. Sometimes a manifestation is a phone call with someone who makes me feel really good and really positive and really excited about my future. I don't need anything to happen from that phone call. The feeling is the manifestation. So I kind of let go of my agenda for things and my needing things to be a certain way, which cleans up the energy even further, which is fantastic because if we have a clean energy field, we know where we're going. We're super clear. We're sending that signal out into the universe with no resistance around it. Boom, manifestation happens. And it happens usually better than you could even expect. So look at it, baby. Go in, journal, do the work because the work is what's going to get you to clearing the field so that you've got this clear quantum field to manifest from. And it just gets fun and exciting. And ooh, it's what life is all about. All right. I did a deep intense mind training last week with some people. I think I had like 6 or 7 people. It was super fun. Oh my gosh, I love teaching this stuff so much. I don't know if I'll teach that class again, but I do have it in recorded form. So if you want to purchase that, it's on my website, www.livelifegolden.com. It's called Deep Intense Mindful Manifestation. It will help you to get a little clearer about how to start cleaning up these mind patterns that you have. And it'll help you to get more aware. It'll give you more of an indication. That's not to oversimplify this. It's just to know that the more you know about how your mind works, the easier it's going to be to get in front of it and the easier it's going to be to manipulate it. We actually want to manipulate the mind in the direction of the dreams that we want to realize because the mind will drag us back. The mind will continue to keep us in an identity that we no longer want to live. So we got to get smarter than that. And that's what deep, intense mind training is all about. So if you go to my website, you purchase it, I'm going to send you a guided meditation. I'm going to send you a writing prompt. I'm going to send you the recording, and then you have the ability to email me your answers to your writing prompt, and I will give you a full rundown of where I see what needs to be cleaned up, and then we can go through some email contact to help you to get even clearer about what you're looking to manifest. All right, you guys, that's the show for today. I love you all. I love this conversation. Let me know if you have questions. Peace.